Jason is the one thing that Victoria cannot spin, cannot perfect, cannot dress up for the cameras. He's her raw truth, and Jason about to F her up in that bunker cell. Oh my God. I really cannot believe that they put these two in a bunker together. Don't they know that Jason is called Jason for a reason? Jason killed his own grandmother. He took Jean out and he tried to take his own life when he jumped off the rooftop. So we know he don't give a damn about Victoria. Oh Lord. Tonight's episode of The Oval is walking us straight into the moment the show has been slow burning towards for seasons. And the wild part is that the synopsis barely gives us anything to hold on to. All it says is tensions rise in the bunker, and Victoria becomes Jason's casualty. And immediately, I'm asking myself the same question that you're probably asking. Where is the storyline going? And yeah, there are some other parts to the synopsis, but I want to talk about this part. Because after last week's episode where Victoria finally stopped pretending, she finally stopped hiding her hatred and finally put her hands on Jason out loud. Now, we're not just dealing with a mother who lost control, we're dealing with a woman who doesn't even care about hiding it anymore. And Victoria, for the most part, she used to be calculated, right? That was her thing. She didn't make reckless moves, she made strategic ones. When she tried to take Jason out the first time, she didn't yell, she didn't fight him, she didn't even raise her voice. She walked right into that empty hospital room like it was an appointment or something. No witnesses, no medical staff, no family, just her. And the IV line she pushed poison into as calmly as someone checking their email. Right? That was the Victoria that we knew, cold, sharp, and controlled. But that version of Victoria is gone, and the woman that we're watching now is unhinged. She's unhinged enough to go after Jason in the open, in front of people, with no plan and no fear of consequences. She's not trying to kill him in silence anymore. She's attacking him out loud. But here's the part that bothers me. Why now? What pushed Victoria from secrecy into madness? Because someone like her doesn't just snap unless there's a good reason to. And that's exactly why tonight feels so dangerous. Because now we're dealing with Jason, someone who was pushed, cornered, hunted, lied to, and dismissed more times than any kid should ever experience. This is someone who's been labeled unstable for most of his entire life, right? Yet the most unstable person around him has always been his mother, Victoria. And the second that the show places these two in a bunker with this high tension in the air, nowhere to turn, nowhere to hide, it becomes obvious that something is about to break, and it just might be Victoria's neck. Look at Hunter. He's helping him. So Jason being the one to flip the script isn't surprising. You can only corner someone for so long before survival kicks in. And Victoria expected him to stay afraid, to stay fragile, stay quiet. But now he's reaching the point where protecting himself means pushing back. And honestly, guys, ask yourself this: what kind of mother hates her son enough to keep trying to kill him? Because this isn't discipline, this isn't tough love, this is hatred. And hatred always has a root. And I can't imagine feeling this way towards a child of mine. And this is what makes her so unrelatable to me as a mom. And I guess this is what's making the storyline so interesting. Victoria doesn't hate Jason because he embarrasses her. She hates him because he exposes her. And she admits, she lets us know that she never wanted Jason. But Jason is the evidence that she failed at something that she never wanted anyone to know that she cared about. That's why every time she looks at him, she sees a threat, not to her family, not to her identity, to her control. And that's why she's willing to do anything to erase him. But the moment that she puts her hands on him in that bunker, in that high pressure moment, she created the perfect environment for her own downfall. Now, while all of this chaos is happening underground, the rest of the White House is unraveling too. Yeah, we've got Donald and Kyle here, two men who don't panic unless their walls are collapsing. Are they planning their escape? And when those two are running, trust me, the infrastructure has to be crumbling. Kyle is loyal in a twisted kind of way, and Donald thinks 5 steps ahead, like every time. And together they've danced around death more times than a little bit. So if they're plotting an exit, that tells us something bigger is brewing for sure. But here's yet another twist. Their escape has everything to do with what's happening with Jason and Victoria. Because when the First Lady becomes a casualty, the entire administration becomes vulnerable, like once again. And on top of all of this, we have Eli, the man who always looks one moral crisis away from collapsing. And he's questioning the new press secretary, according to our synopsis here. And on this show, a press secretary is never just a press secretary, right? She's always a threat, a leak, or a problem that's wrapped in a suit. Now, if Eli doesn't trust her, then that means that the truth about the Franklin family, especially whatever happens in that bunker, is one whisper away from blowing up. Now, I'm questioning the new press secretary, whoever they are, because the fairy godmother here, she declined his offer on the last episode, unless they made her the press secretary while we weren't looking. But she basically told him, look, I've got too many degrees to be anybody's secretary, okay? So let's just put all this together. And tonight's episode isn't just setting up this fight. It's setting up a collapse. Victoria is losing control, and it means that her political mask is slipping. And I just think that everything is about to fall apart yet again. And Victoria becoming Jason's casualty isn't some shocking twist. It's the consequence of every decision that she's ever made. You just can't abuse someone repeatedly, dismiss them, manipulate them, poison them, and then try to eliminate them without eventually facing the exact same energy. Now, Victoria created this version of Jason, and now she has to deal with the version that she created, right? And whether she ends up injured, unconscious, or worse, she brought this on herself. But I can say what makes this storyline so interesting is that the show is finally letting the consequences catch up, right? No more secrets, no more hiding, no more pretending that nothing has happened. Everything is coming out. So tonight's episode is more than about a mother and son fighting in the bunker. It's about a power shift. It's about accountability. It's about survival turning into retaliation. And it's about a family that's been rotting from the inside, finally reaching the point where the rot is very visible at this point. For this week's popcorn rating, I'm looking at 5 things: the story progression, how well the tension pays off, whether the character choices make sense, how much the episode actually moves the plot forward, as I've done in the past, and how original the twists feel. This episode delivered high emotional tension and finally pushed the Jason-Victoria storyline into a major shift, but it still held back on giving us real answers or forward movement everywhere else. So based on the drama, the pacing, the payoff, and overall impact, this episode gets a solid 4 out of 5 popcorn. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So I'll be watching tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope that you will too, so we can come back here to discuss everything that we saw. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of Tyler Perry's The Oval, then go ahead and sub to this channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ruthless TV tonight, you guys, and I'm going to see you on the next one.